Hey, hi everybody.
Look out, Sky. Oops, I gotta mute that.
Oh yeah. Hey, hi everybody.
Okay, I guess that one's behind. All right, let's see who's here. We have the Chartiers are here. Briefly. Hope you'll be back. Or at least watching it on the replay. Remember, there is a replay available in my video section. And, oh, I know something I want to adjust. It looks okay right now.
Oh yeah.
Just
Okay.
closer.
Puppies out of the way.
That looks like it's overdriving. Sound is good.
Mine's not. Is that doing anything on mine?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, you went into the
So
red a
that's
little
good,
bit
and
when you
that's
did
like
that. So.
Ken and Andrea saying that, right?
No, it's Elaine and
Hi,
Lewis.
Elaine.
I hear sound. Yes, we're here. Nico was doing the dishes. Absolutely. Lewis says, "Good evening. We're having a mini heat wave around here. I'm thinking about just having a bowl of ice cream for supper. That heat wave is headed here.
Yep.
We're going to get it in the next couple of days."
It's gonna be 90. 90. Ah!
Ah! Whoopsie. Where'd it go? There we go. Elaine, I don't have sound on Facebook. Everyone else is getting sound, Elaine, so I'm going to assume it's on your end.
Everybody getting on sound on Facebook. Oh, on Facebook.
Everybody else is getting sound. So you might want to check your settings or your speaker settings or something. Okay, and Sky just had her supper, so she's ready to play. Can't decide which ball, though.
There's too many balls.
Typical
not
border
enough
collie. So, let's see, where do we start?
I'm gonna do our concert part first,
We are.
and we've been talking a lot about whiskey lately.
And not in the way you might think, but rather, Bill did Whiskey Before Breakfast as a tune history for the main fiddle camp.
And here's a tune that I always thought was an old-time Southern Appalachian tune. Turns out it's originally from the Canadian Maritimes, and the tune was entitled "Spirits in the Morning," and it moved across Canada to the sort of Manitoba, Midwest Canada area, and picked up by Andy DeJarlis, who was a Batee fiddler from Manitoba, and he kind of gets credit for the tune, but only for his arrangement. So, Whiskey Before Breakfast, Spirit in the Morning, and it's like related, very, very closely related to some Irish tunes, one of which is the Silver Spire.
Oh,
If you listen to Silver Spire, you'll see what the relationship is. So, anyway, we're going to play Whiskey Before Breakfast.
and we're going to play it with the words that were written by Mike Cross, who's from North Carolina, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Yep.
Are in tune now?
I think we're good.
Do your D chord again.
Oh yeah, everybody, welcome here to our jam session.
Okay, here we go. 3, 4. Early one morning when the sun wouldn't shine, I was walking down the street not feeling too fine. Saw two men with a battle between them. This is the song I heard them singing. Oh Lord, preserve us, sad Baptist. We've been drinking whiskey for breakfast. Oh Lord, preserve us, sad protect us. We've been drinking whiskey for breakfast. Sorry. Get a swallow. I stepped to the steps where they were sitting, and I couldn't believe how drunk they were getting. Said, old man, you've been drinking long enough to start singing this song. Oh Lord, preserve us and protect us. We've been drinking whiskey for breakfast. Oh Lord, preserve us and protect us. We've been drinking whiskey for breakfast. One by one, everybody in the town heard our rocks and they all came down. Pretty soon the streets were ringing with the sound of the whole town laughing and singing. Oh Lord, preserve us and protect us. We've been drinking whiskey for breakfast. Oh Lord, preserve us and protect us. We've been drinking whiskey for breakfast. There we go. Whiskey before breakfast into that good old Spotted Pony. Hi, Leslie Bartow. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for putting the tip jar information into the chat.
And thank you for putting the tip jar information into the chat. Yes. So nice that when someone does that. And oh, thank you, Kevin. Kevin McNamara is here. My old friend from Boston, saying my voice sounds great. Lots of applause from Lewis. Leslie says the first time I heard Mike Cross Whiskey Before Breakfast was at an outdoor concert in Cary, North Carolina. That actually might, no, he's from Chapel Hill, right?
Well, Cary is
Cary
right
is
next
right
door.
there. Yeah,
right
so
next
in the
door.
right area.
Yep.
Katerina says, I read these out loud because Bill can't see them. This should be my theme song. I've been tasting bourbon lately, a department from my Scotch days.
Really?
Kentucky bourbon. Yep.
How's the new Katerina? How's the new job?
Yeah.
I mean,
Do tell.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Just,
Hopefully it'll be less pressure for you. Okay, so we were playing earlier and thinking about what to do for the second piece. We like to do two when we have time, and we're just going to take time today. And we're in the middle of playing Midnight on the Water, and I suddenly remembered a song. I haven't sung it for years, but I love it, and so we're going to do it. So bear with me, and I got to move that music stand
okay.
a little bit in the way.
Midnight on the Water and this tune are both West Texas tunes.
Yeah,
So
they are, and they have a similar chord
they
progression.
do.
Hi, Hunter Walker. Wow, nice to see you here.
Oh,
Hunter is a fabulous mountain dulcimer player.
well then welcome.
How nice
to,
we're
welcome
using
to
my
this.
dulcimer tonight,
It's
really.
a dulcimer.
Yeah.
We,
So,
oh, you were saying, oh, Pam, you got to do fiddle. And I said, no, I'd like to do dulcimer. Ah, you really know. Yeah, okay. So here we are.
so this song, it just started coming back to me as we were practicing Midnight on the Water, and you'll see why when I start playing it. And I learned it back. I learned it back when I was probably 19 or 20, with hanging out with my friend Elijah Wald. If any of you know of Elijah, he is, since we were 20, become an amazing ethnomusicologist and book author. And he wrote the book that the recent movie about Bob Dylan was based on. That Elijah,
A
yeah.
complete unknown.
A complete unknown.
The original book was written by
By Elijah, yep.
And Pam toured throughout Europe. As like what would we call you?
We were street musicians.
Bums.
Yeah. Yeah, you could also call us bums. Yeah.
Street musicians and.
Yeah, we had some fun times together.
Yep.
So one night we were just hanging out at his house and listening to records and playing tunes together, and he came up with this song and said, Pam, you should learn this song. And I heard it, I went, oh my gosh, yes I will.
Here we go.
And here we go. One of my very favorites, written by Joe Eli. Kitchen Girl, absolutely.
Okay, folks, this is where you send in the suggestions. We have one, maybe more, right?
We have one. We need more.
We need more. Or we can start
For
with
those
one.
of you who haven't been here before, this is basically an intermediate level jam. To us, that means that easy tunes or very common tunes in the repertoire we play right at speed. We just play them. Bill will call the chords for everything,
Yes.
at least the first couple times through,
Yes.
and then a little more difficult tunes, sort of intermediate tunes. We'll probably play a little slow a couple times first, and then bring them up to speed.
Yep.
Really notey tunes, or maybe a tune where the melody's not that hard, but the chords are really busy, are really difficult. We'll keep it at a lopey pace the whole time.
Lopey.
Our idea with this is that you all are at home not only listening to us, but also playing along on whatever instrument you have. It could be the bagpipes, it could be a dulcimer, it could be the fiddle, it could be
The triangle.
the triangle, yeah. It could be a trombone. You know, everybody's welcome. And and so here we go. We just have fun together.
Kitchen Girl.
So let's see if anything else has come in. We've got Kitchen Girl, and I am going to switch instruments. So
Oh,
just
good
one
idea.
second.
I'll be calling the chords. I will be prompting you. It means I call the chord ahead of the time when you're going to be playing it. You'll get the rhythm there. And I'll be using phonetics for the chord letters instead of saying C, D, G, B, E, which all sound the same coming through the electronics there. I'll be using phonetics for like dog for D, George for G, Charlie for C, eggplant for E, and F sharp minor for F sharp minor. So, and you can look at my fingers on the guitar here.
I'm just going to get my... And so don't be afraid to request whatever you want to do.
Oh,
If we don't know it, if I can look it up really fast, I'm just getting my iPad happening now. If I can look up really fast, we will play it. And if we can't play it this week, we will play it another week.
Okay.
We have learned so many great tunes from you guys because you've requested something I don't know. And it's like, wow, cool, another tune for the collection.
From
Okay.
y'all.
I think we're ready. Kitchen Girl. We'll do this a little slow the first time. A modal. A G A. Bum, bum, bum.
E major.
Well, that's up to you. I'll leave
Yeah.
the other chords up to you. You're
This
the chord
is-
guy.
Yeah, I'm right.
Bill and I don't always agree on the chords, but
What would you do there?
it could be an E minor. I go between both. The note on the fiddle starts low and changes.
Okay,
So
whatever.
you can do either one because they'll
I'm gonna-
both work.
I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
You
and
do what you do.
can just sit there and play
That's
the
what I've been
violin.
saying. Is you
Yeah.
you're in charge of the chords.
Hey, everybody.
honey.
Watch me, okay? There we go. A.
He's in charge of the chords except when I disagree, and then we talk about it online.
We argue in front of the whole
That's
world.
right, we do. We negotiate.
A, G, A. That's where it starts, right
That's
there.
right.
Alpha,
That's right.
George, Alpha, A, George, A.
All right, 1, 2, 1, 2.
A, George, A. Eggplant, A, George, A. George, E minor, A, George, A. E, A, George, A.
way to start out.
What?
I don't see Sky. I'm not going to call her. I'm going to assume she just is lying down somewhere out of sight. She's not making noise, so nothing's getting destroyed.
Nico's there.
Yep. She's not in her kennel. So, for those of you who have not been following the saga of Sky,
Attention to the menagerie
yeah,
story.
she has gotten to the point where she doesn't have to be in the kennel nearly as much as she used to, but she is still 10 months old. And still a puppy, still gets into mischief and chews things from now and then.
She's lying down right over there by the window.
Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, Church Street Polka. Good choice.
Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, so see, Lewis agrees with me. He uses an E minor where you put an E in.
Okay, well,
They're both good.
all good.
Oh, and Lilting Banshee. Yep.
Ooh,
Let's do Church Street Polka first.
I think that's in the key of G,
It is.
but I could be mistaken.
Nah. Yeah, right. Katerina says 10 months old is a lovable preteen. To be followed by the actual defiant teen years.
Okay, well,
Luckily, with dogs, it doesn't last as long.
so the human children is a
Comparing human children and dog children, yeah. No, she's doing pretty well. Still, still rather spooky. Not great with people she doesn't know, but she's getting way better. She's getting way better. So, yay for Sky. Okay.
Church Street Polka,
Church Street
G.
Polka,
George.
key of G. George. We'll do it a little lopey at first. I know it's not a common tune. Yeah, about that.
Want me to go to the C?
Yeah. Oh, I like that A minor.
I do too.
Yeah,
so
let's
I've
do A
got-
minor.
Okay,
Yeah.
she said it, not me.
I like the A minor.
G, A minor, and dog,
Yeah.
and George, 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 E, A minor, D, and G.
And then in the B part, there's a C.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll
there
see.
may be and there may
There
not
may
be.
be C and there may not
here.
be a C.
Yeah, there may not.
Okay,
there
that
may
well,
be.
like I said, it's up to you.
It's well, yeah.
Once we start playing, I'm not chiming in. Okay.
Here we
One.
go. Cheat Street
Little slow at
Polka.
first. 1, 2, 1,
G,
2. polka. Good choice. And Lewis had asked for the lilting banshee. A minor modal.
A minor and G. Diddly diddly. That's a jig, right?
Yep. And there'll be E minors. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
we'll see what comes out. You never can tell. I don't, you know.
It's true.
A minor.
You could just play A minor and, eventually it'll all come back to the A minor, so.
If you, like any of these tunes, if you play the chord that is the chord of the key that the tune is in, you just keep playing that chord the whole time through, you'll be right
Sometimes.
about half the time. So you think about that, how many times you're like trying to find a chord and you're screwing up and doing the wrong chord, you know, being right half
Hold
the time.
that pedal point. Just hold
Pretty
that pedal
good
point,
deal,
you know? You're
yeah.
talking to a dulcimer player here. We live for the pedal point. We live for the drone. That beautiful drone. Fine with me if
The
nobody changes
Lilting
chords.
Banshee.
All right, here we go. Little
E
slow.
minor,
Little
A
slow.
minor, A minor,
Dum. 2, 3, 4.
A minor, A minor,
Yes, if in doubt, just go home and
Go
play the
home.
tonic. Little discussion about that thing. Oh, Katerina says, I think I overdid this one in my excitement, talking about, which tune was, oh, Church Street Polka. And eighth notes on the bass make my wrists sore. Yeah, you don't have to do every single note of the melody on the bass, Katerina.
Bum, 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 bum,
Bum, bum, bum, bum, bum.
bum, 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 bum. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered the lightning bugs are showing up. It is their month.
Oh my God. It's
It will
June.
be it's June.
It's
June.
June.
It'll be a
Always.
little while longer here, I think.
Who's got lightning bugs?
Lewis.
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 Well, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
89, 95 degrees out there
Right.
in Indiana.
But certainly near the end of June and July is big for lightning bugs, and I can't wait until the dragonflies get here.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching the dragonflies, and they eat mosquitoes.
Okay. I don't know. You folks out there in different parts of the country don't have black flies, but we do here.
We sure. This is black fly
And
season
like,
here.
holy smokes.
Yep.
Like, well, anyway, I got like welts on me from black flies. That are
My
just-
black fly bites were so bad last week. Bill thought I got bit by a tick and had Lyme disease.
Yeah, I did.
That's how big one of the bites was. It looked like a target. It was huge.
Yep.
But I had enough other ones on my body that, and I had just been in the garden. So I said, well, I think I'll just wait and see what they look like in the morning. And they were obviously not tick bites in the morning. They were black fly bites.
So there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially the pond. And I have a vernal pond, which is still active. It's damp pretty much all year on in a normal year.
Yep.
But there's often some water in it. Maybe into August. Maybe July. Certainly into July. So the dragonflies really like this area.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. We've got Skyboat Song and anything else?
Is that it?
Skyboat Song.
Skyboat Song. How's it go?
Dum ba da 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 dum. Key of G. Dum bum ba da dum bum bum.
Okay, here we go, dog.
Okay. Waltz. Waltz time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
D-dog.
3. A minor.
Eggplant
stop for a minute. So in the B part,
Yeah.
it's G and then A minor before the C, not a D chord. Yum ba bum. A minor, C, 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 E minor. Yep. G, 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 A minor, C, 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 E minor, D. I'm not sure he believes me.
Nope.
But here we go. Beginning. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more A part. Hi, Allison Papura. How are things down in Louisiana? Yeah, if there's anyone out there that has not tuned in before, I'll say again that this jam is pretty casual. People type in the chat what they'd like us to play, and then we play it. If I know it, if I don't know it, we look it up really fast, and if I can't find it, then we do it another week. So don't be afraid to type something in the chat that you would like us to play, and hopefully have you play along on.
Right. The idea is for you to request stuff that you want to play along with.
Right, right.
It's not a concert, it's a jam session. Right. Sort of a
neat.
concert. Yeah.
Allison says, usually in Mississippi, kites follow the dragonflies here in the South.
Kites are birds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a small falcon, right? But they,
They're,
like a shrike is, a
Well-
small predatory bird.
yeah.
And they eat a lot of insects.
Wow.
So I could see that. That would be cool to watch. You must have seen that sometime, Allison.
So.
All right, well, we don't have any more requests, so Bill, what would you like to play?
I want to play.
There's my girl.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, baby.
I want to play
Go down. Get off. Go lie down.
Bonaparte
girl.
Crossing
Good
the
girl.
Rhine. Actually, I want to
Okay.
play something old timey and marchy. We haven't done
Okay.
anything old time, and we haven't done anything marchy
Okay.
yet. So why don't we combine the two? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dee, dun, dun, dun. That one. D-Dog.
Oh, and then maybe we'll go right into it. Crooked Stovepipe.
Oh,
Lewis is
dun, dun,
suggesting.
dun, dun, dun. That's Crooked
Yeah.
Stovepipe's in G.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
All right.
be ready for the change,
Yeah,
folks.
we'll make
I'll
the
call
change.
It. Here we go. Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine, not Bonaparte's Retreat. Different tune. Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Dee-da. Crooked Stovepipe. That's a Down East tune.
Yep.
Down East Canadian Maritime tune.
Oh yeah, and Ellison is saying lightning bugs would be a nice addition to the summer solstice event at MFC.
Oh, yes.
Wouldn't it? Have little lightning bugs all over the
Yeah,
place.
well, they'll be there.
Maybe they'll be there. And Katerine says, "I was so proud I could keep up, Pam. Yay! Because we were cooking on those. That was right up to speed on Crooked Stovepipe. But I know it's a familiar tune, and I like to push you guys once in a while.
Yep.
All right, let's play. We've only done one waltz. Let's do another waltz. She went to bed.
High Clouds.
Okay. You want to introduce it while I
Well,
find
here's
it?
a
I look in my
tune.
book.
Was this a David Kaner tune?
Bill, yes, of
Okay.
course it is.
I'm doubting myself here. I was thinking it was a David Kaner tune. My old departed friend and mentor, Dave Kaner from Montague, Massachusetts, wrote this tune, High Clouds, and maybe we'll play Green Apple Quick Step afterwards to kind of, change the energy a little bit.
That's
But-
great. As you were saying it, Katerina was saying, "Hi, clouds."
Hi, Clouds. Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Allison requested my Cape Breton home,
well,
so maybe that'll be good if we do High Clouds and Green Apple Quick Step
and then
and my Cape Breton home. That might be about enough for tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and then I'll tell our Jerry Holland stories.
Give myself.
Yeah, we got stories. We may be here out in the sticks in Maine, but
We have the stories.
we've got stuff. We've got stories and stuff that's happened here, and Jerry Holland is part of it.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. One,
High
two,
Clouds.
three, 1, 2.
Charlie. D minor. Charlie. Charlie. notes to that one?
Well, David wrote this in 1980. Inspired by the great photography and valiant and vain attempts of a good teacher to communicate something about weather to a resolutely unteachable high school science class whose minds were on sex, drugs, guns, and fast cars. Several classrooms away, the mind of a young fiddler was on music with me. With me, Art Mina and Tracy Scott, Bright Lights in a Dark Place.
That's the mystery of David Gaynor.
Mr.
Right?
David Gaynor, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Green Apple Clips.
Which is another Dave Gaynor tune. We've played it many times. And
You
so
all
here
know
we
we're
go.
not going to slow down for this. You're going to just play it. Here we go.
Dum, ba, da, dum, bum, bum. And we'll fit them both in. We will do my Cape Breton home. We'll fit that in.
Yep.
So Green
don't
Apple
worry.
Quick Set.
We don't care if we run late. We're going to do my Cape Breton home.
Dum dum da dum
G.
dum
George.
dum. 1, 2, 1,
G.
2.
George. Charlie, George, A minor, D dot, One more time. George, Charlie, A Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that tune either, right?
Nothing wrong with that tune.
Yep. Got one more.
We do, and it's my Cape Breton home.
So Jerry Holland is this amazing fiddler and composer from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. And when he was passed away several years ago, but before he did, went a tour on the northeastern United States, and one of his stops was in Bowdoin, Maine, right here.
Bowdoin. Not right here in this house.
Not in this house, but right across the street on West Street, off of West Street.
Off of West Street, yeah.
Yeah.
And so for people who don't know, that's the next street over from me. And which means that the way we get there is about 5 miles.
Yeah, but if you take a
But-
snowmobile in the winter, it's about a half a mile.
I have friends who lived there at the time and put on many wonderful house concerts of Cape Breton music. And so we got to scoot over there and play with and we got to play with Jerry after the jam. Our old friend Lucian Matthew came to it, and Don was there too, right?
Don played
And
guitar.
Don played guitar for
Yeah,
Jerry.
no, he was the
Yeah,
accompanist.
Don and Cindy.
Yep.
And Cindy played piano.
Yep.
And they brought Lucian.
They
So
brought
we
him.
had a fine jam session
Oh,
afterwards. It
man.
was so much fun.
And he was dying. At
What a
that
sweet
point.
man.
Yep. And boy,
What a
he
show.
stepped it up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And of course, this is a tune that he wrote about his home, right?
Yes, so let's play.
George D.
Yeah, Jerry was actually born in Waltham, Massachusetts, but his family was from Cape Breton, and he moved back up there as a young adult man.
George.
So that was truly his home.
G.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
George. Dog. Charlie. George. Dog. Charlie. Dog. Dog. Charlie. George. A minor. Dog. Charlie. Do it again. Dog. Charlie. George. Dog.
All right. Yes, good tune to end up on. So, as usual, everybody, thank you so much for coming out, joining us in my living room. Bill and the dogs and the cat. Everybody
Don't
is
forget about
happily
the
asleep.
tip jar.
Yeah, we always forget to mention it, but don't forget about the tip jar. It
Yeah.
does help us keep this going. And
Sky, come on. This is Nico.
play
He
lots
says-
play lots of music, eat good food, hug your pets and your loved ones. Hey baby, it's okay. And have a great week.
Got dogs. We got dogs.
We got dogs. We do.
Good night, everybody.